Republican presidential candidate John Kasich is joining us now live here in the studio. It's a marathon, not a sprint when you're running for president. Thank you very much for taking the time to be here.
Yeah.
You just recently released a statement this morning, and in part you said the past 24 hours revealed in the clearest way yet that Donald Trump is not prepared to be president. Why?
Well, I mean, first of all, his comments on abortion, I knew he'd reverse them right after he said them when he left the studio. Secondly, I mean, he talked about using nuclear weapons in Europe. He talked about abolishing NATO. He said his Supreme Court justice would investigate Hillary's emails. That would be one of the reasons why they would be picked. He even said that we should get rid of the Geneva Conventions so that, the Geneva Convention guides the way we treat people on the battlefield. I mean, it's like a panoply of mistakes and outrageous statements. You know what it is with Donald? It's just a stream of consciousness. But, Robin, we're dealing in such a serious time with the problem of global security, terrorism, and here at home, very poor economic growth, people feeling as though they've got no future. You can't operate like this. You're going to be president of the United States. People around the world must be having a field day. And you know what Donald ought to be happy about is that Jon Stewart's not running the Daily Show.
People have often talked about that.
Are you kidding me?
But in the past, you've been asked about, is he fit to be commander-in-chief? And you've hesitated to respond. But because of all that was said yesterday, was that the...
I've never said fit. I will use the word unfit when there's no coming back. Well, I don't believe Donald Trump is going to be the nominee, and this underscores his problem. This is why I stay in the race. Look, people say, why does he stay in the race? What, am I supposed to get out and leave it to these guys? Well, you know, Cruz is out there saying we ought to start patrolling Muslim neighborhoods. I mean, do you think we're going to get intelligence information from the Muslim community when we are targeting them and isolating them? It's just it's either no record or things that are coming out of Donald's mouth that are they're just basically irresponsible. He mentioned riots at the convention. So, look, I have two 16-year-old daughters, and at the end of the day, I will have to explain to them, if I'm not the nominee, who I'm supporting and why.
And you, in getting that nomination, a contested convention, which is the reason why Donald Trump said there would be riots, if there was a contested convention. What is your path? How can you become the GOP nominee?
Look, Ted Cruz would have to get about 90% of the delegates going forward, which he's not going to get. Trump would have to have nearly 60%, which he's never coming close to. Now in New York and Pennsylvania, once we get beyond Wisconsin, I'll pick some delegates up there. I will begin to roll up delegates. I will have momentum going into the convention. And Robin, the reason is I have a record of economic growth, national security experience, and results. And at some point, they're going to actually think about who can be president, who would be a good president. And let me tell you one other thing. I beat Hillary Clinton in every national poll in the country. Even here in New York, Donald Trump trails her by 20 points. I trail her by 5 in New York. I mean, that's not like unbelievable. So I'm going to be able to compete all across the political map, and I just got to get to that convention.
I know you want to talk about what your worldview is. You have stated what Donald Trump has said, and he included saying that NATO is, quote, obsolete. So what is your worldview to keep America safe?
Well, we've got to destroy ISIS, both with an Arab-Muslim coalition, along with our friends in Europe, and with us being the leader. But then beyond that, NATO needs to be transformed into an organization that does intelligence gathering and policing. It appears over in Europe as though they're just dysfunctional. Bureaucracy, political correctness, it's not working. The President of the United States needs to take lemons and turn it into lemonade by leading and getting these countries to realize that civilization is at stake. Because that's what we're talking about, Robin. You know the way that these Islamists would feel about you as a woman. Being on television, this would be the most outrageous thing that they could see. So it is civilization versus a group of people who are intent on destroying us and what we represent. So we're going to have to move expeditiously. Good intelligence, human intelligence, and here at home, joint terrorism task forces with FBI, Homeland Security, state and local law enforcement who have the tools and the resources to protect us. That is what we need to be doing.
You have been very clear from the get-go what your plan is for that and other issues. Again, thank you for being here in New York, and I can't let you go. You were eating pizza with a fork?
Hey, look. Robin, look. The pizza came scalding hot, okay? And so I use a little fork. You know what, my wife, who's on a spring break with my daughters, you know what she said? I'm proud of you. You finally learned how to use a utensil properly. But I mean, not only did I eat the pizza, I had the hot sausage. It was fantastic. But here's what I've learned. I came to New York. There were like 100 press people there. Get ready, John, because I'm going to be spending a lot of time in New York.
New Yorkers eat their pizza a certain way. Not just New Yorkers, but around the world.
Listen, I was eating pizza before that reporter was even born.
I'll let you get that line back.
Hey, one last thing. I want to just say something about the people at ABC. Robin, for 6 months, they gave you a chance to get your health back.
Yeah.
For 6 months, they never replaced your seat. I don't think if it had taken a year, they would have kept it open. A lot of organizations would run right over people who got sick. You know what? A salute to ABC, the management, for saying that Robin Roberts and her ability to recover and get on her feet is critical. That's an example to the rest of the country about how we treat people. We have to treat them like they're in our own family.
That's
so
God bless
the network here. Thank you.
And thank you for coming here and speaking with us face to face.
All right.
I appreciate that.